Hey everyone, welcome back to the workshop. Artisan Pirate here, and in today's fun scroll saw project video, we have a nice bit of scroll saw segmentation to make. Scroll saw segmentation is one of those forms in the scroll saw woodworking world that really shows off what a scroll saw is capable of and how versatile the tool is out in a garage or workshop. I've already got the design printed out to its full size, and we don't have it fully prepped yet because there's a little bit different prep work as opposed to traditional scroll saw woodworking when it comes to prepping for segmentation, if that makes any sense. But it is an older Steve Good design in case you guys would like to go to his pattern catalog and download it and try it for yourselves. And what it is a nice little seaside lighthouse with a sailboat. It has the sun, the clouds, the little house at the bottom, the waves, all encapsulated in this nice oval base here. Now the pattern, when you download it from Steve's site, suggests 1/4 inch material. I'm going to make it a little bit thicker than that, so hopefully it comes across better visually over here on the platform. But by all means, you can of course cut it out of any thickness of material that you want to. Now with scroll saw segmentation, you cut everything out basically like a puzzle, so you need to make sure your scroll saw is dialed in at a perfect 90 degrees. And then once you peel off all of the pattern, we're going to have to use spray adhesive. As I said, the prep work for segmentation and intarsia and puzzles is a little bit differently than just basically attaching a pattern to a piece of material and drilling pilot holes and going. But after the pattern is peeled away, we will sand, shape, and contour everything to give it a nice 3D appearance, and then everything will be glued back together basically in the same exact shape here, exactly the same shape here, to make a nice little three-dimensional piece cut out over on the scroll saw. Now we're going to be using more 3/4 inch pine because it's readily available in my area, and it cuts, sands, shapes, and contours exceptionally well, and it also takes paint, stains, and clear coats very well. And you can see that I've already got the face side, what will be the face side, masked off with blue painter's tape here. So really cool. You can see the back side there, and I really love the grain texture of pine material. I think it's a very underrated material to work with out in your garage or workshop. But as I said, we're going to have to use spray adhesive to attach the pattern here. And what I like to do when doing segmentation or intarsia, what I like to do is take a crayon. I've taken a basic pencil in the past, or a Sharpie, and what I like to do is scribble and scrawl on the back side. That way, once I peel off the pattern on the face side, I know what side to shape and contour and texture when it comes to the sanding process once we are done over at the scroll saw. I'm also going to have my little parts bin off to the side to where once I get everything cut out, I can drop it into the parts bin and make sure I'm keeping up with all of the parts and pieces that make up this tropical summertime themed segmentation portrait that Steve Good has designed. So really cool. What we need to do now is move the camera over to the workbench, get the spray adhesive out, and get the back of the pattern sprayed so it can get tacky, and we can attach it to our material and head over to the scroll saw and start scrolling. And over here on the workbench, we're going to take the crayon and mark a little bit more on the back side of our 3/4 inch pine. But then we will spray the pattern with our spray adhesive and let it get tacky before attaching it to the blue painter's tape. And for some added reassurance, I'm going to cover everything with clear packing tape just to make sure nothing moves around. Of course, the clear packing tape can help lubricate the scroll saw blade and reduce burn marks while over at the scroll saw. But now we will head over to the Rikon scroll saw and begin scrolling. I will begin by scrolling out the perimeter here and setting it aside because I will need the oval shape that makes up the frame to help with the assembly and glue up later on in the video. But now I can begin releasing the individual pieces, and for all of the scrolling on this project, I'll be using a number 5 Ultra reverse tooth blade, and it will cut through our 3/4 inch pine exceptionally well with minimal chip out. And before proceeding with the rest of the cuts, I got out my cell phone and quickly took a photo for reference when we go to assemble everything. If you guys would like to try this pattern, it's available as a free pattern download at Steve Good's scrollsawworkshop.blogspot.com website over in his free pattern catalog. Here at the close-up view, you guys can see that I am of course taking my time and letting the blade do the work and being as loyal as I can be to the cut line. And as I cut each individual piece away, you can see me setting the pieces aside in the red plastic parts bin off to my side there, keeping up with all of the individual parts and pieces. That way I know I am not losing anything. And some of these pieces get very small, so just be very, very careful when cutting everything out over at the scroll saw. And we are already almost completely done with the scroll saw work. But now we can take our parts bin with the pieces over to the workbench and begin peeling away the pattern and the blue painter's tape. And the blue painter's tape basically peels away like a post-it note. And I will not bore you guys with peeling away all of the pieces here. I'm just showing you guys the process. And after all of the pattern had been peeled away, it was time to begin the initial sanding and shaping. And I'm using a small sanding drum and my Marathon rotary tool by Bearwood Supply that Sterling Davis kindly gave me. And the cool thing about segmentation work over at the scroll saw, you can sand as much or as little as you want to, depending on how much depth and dimension you want on all of the pieces. I'm just giving all of the parts here a round over. And after they had gotten the round over, I'm now taking a high grit Klingspor Woodworking Shop sanding sponge and I'm sanding all of the pieces once again. Once again, you can sand all the pieces as much or as little as you want to, depending on how your vision of the finished project is in your mind's eye. But after everything is sanded and I am happy with it, it'll be time to begin assembly and glue up. And I'm using that frame we cut out on the very first cut over at the scroll saw, what is the waste wood, to help with the assembly here. And you can see me referencing the photo I took while over at the scroll saw of the pattern to help with the assembly process. And it's basically like assembling a classic jigsaw puzzle, but after a while the lighthouse portrait we cut out in pieces over at the scroll saw will once again begin to emerge in the portrait we are working on. And I wanted to give this project a two-toned appearance, so to do that I'm putting more blue painter's tape on the entire project here and flipping it over, and I will very, very carefully remove the piece here from the waste wood and glue just the frame together with medium grade CA glue and activator. And I'm being very careful here to only get the CA glue and activator on the frame itself. And after the frame had dried for around 5 minutes and I was sure that the glue had set and had cured, I carefully flipped the piece back over once again. And you will see me do that once I step back over to it. And I carefully took an X-Acto knife and trimmed around the perimeter here to remove the rest of the portrait from the frame. And now I had our two individual pieces. Once I remove the blue painter's tape here, we will quickly trace the frame on a scrap piece from the scrap bin and stain the frame itself with a dark Minwax wood stain. And after everything had been stained, I wiped off all of the excess with some paper towels and set it aside to dry. And I took that scrap piece that we had traced the frame on over to the bandsaw and I cut it out. And I cut it out on the inside of the cut line because I did not want it to extend to the portrait itself. But after the frame had dried, it was time for the final glue up and assembly. And you can see that I marked the top and the bottom of the portrait, but I'm using a lot of CA glue and activator here, and I'm making sure that glue is on each individual piece of the portrait. And I'll spray the activator and I'll apply some pressure and again let it dry for around 5 minutes before coming back to peel away the blue painter's tape. And I will step aside and get a brush to brush away any of the caked in sawdust. And then it was time for a finish. And for finishing, I gave the project a few coats of Rust-Oleum clear gloss to make the grain pop and give it a nice glossy appearance and protection for years to come. Once that dried, the project was complete. And here we have the completed tropical lighthouse and sailboat scene cut out completely over on the scroll saw using the segmented method for scroll saw woodworking, and it finished up beautifully with some very nice and crisp details in it thanks to the segmented method over on the scroll saw. Once again, thanks to Steve Good for another fantastic and beautiful pattern from his pattern catalog. Really cool if you guys want to go in his catalog and download it and try it for yourselves out in your garage or workshops. But a really cool tropical project to make now that we are in the heart of summer 2025. I had a lot of fun making this project and bringing it to life. I always enjoy doing the segmented route over on the scroll saw because it just shows the versatility of a very versatile tool that does not take up a large footprint out in a garage or workshop. Now, it only took me around 25 minutes to scroll everything out completely from start to finish. It's not an overly complex design. It's just with the nature of it, and you're wanting to make sure everything lines back up once you put everything together after cutting it out over on the scroll saw. You need to, of course, take your time and let the blade do the work and be as loyal as you can be to the cut line. Now, as I said at the beginning, Steve Good suggested that you cut this project out of thinner 1/4 inch material. Just be aware that those pieces, once you get everything cut out, would be a lot smaller and a lot more tedious to work with if you went with the 1/4 inch material. But as I said at the beginning as well, you can of course use any thickness of material to make a segmented project over at the scroll saw, and I opted to use the thicker 3/4 inch pine shelving board that is readily available in my area, and I can pick it up very easily, you know, and it's relatively cheaply made at the time of this video's recording. I mean, the price of it's very cheap, if that makes any sense. But it's just a great material to work with, and I hope that the results in today's project speaks for themselves. Again, it only took me around 25 minutes to scroll everything out, 20 or 25 minutes, give or take. The time you're going to have in a project or in any segmented scroll saw project that you make out in your garage or workshop is going to be peeling off all of the patterns and then sanding, shaping, and contouring everything as much or as little as you want to. I've done it in a very straightforward and simplistic way in today's video to hopefully inspire you guys to go out and try a segmented project in your garage or workshops. If not this project, maybe even one of the others that's on Steve Good's website or in the various pattern books for scroll saw woodworking that is available in the big wide world that we live in. But you can easily tell at first glance what this project is as soon as you look at it. You have the classic lighthouse taking up the most prominent feature in it. Then you have the sailboat off to the side, a nice cloud, the hillside or the coastal region where the lighthouse is with the little house for the lighthouse keeper. You have the tropical sky and the sunrise or sunset, all encapsulated in this oval style frame here. And I think that the way I finished it up with a darker frame here, it kind of looks like you are looking through the porthole of a sailing ship. So I think that's a very cool maritime vibe to add to it. And I finished it in a standard rustic finishing way. I stained the frame here a dark shade of Minwax wood stain just to allow for a two-tone texture and pop of color. I was going to use 2 different shades of Minwax wood stain, but once I got to putting everything together, it was very tedious to fit all of these little pieces back into their proper places, and it took me a while to locate how everything went back together. That's why I took a picture of it while I was over at the scroll saw on my cell phone to kind of have a guide and reference to reassemble everything. But you guys seen how I glued everything together, and I want to talk about that because I've never done that when it comes to segmented work over at the scroll saw. You guys seen once I got everything put together, I took more of the blue painter's tape I used to mask off to where we attached the pattern with spray adhesive to. I put it all over the entire project and I mashed it down firmly into all of the pieces, and then I flipped the project over, and then that was how I was able to begin doing the glue up process. It worked out better than I thought it would, and I think I'm going to start doing that route when I do other segmented projects, if I do any in the future. I know I've done a few previous ones over here on the platform if you guys want to go back and see those videos. But I was going to stain this portion here a light shade of Minwax wood stain and have the frame a darker shade, but I think the Rust-Oleum clear gloss that we added at the end for a finish and protection and for a pop of clear gloss that is reflected in the light of the workshop, I think it really made the natural colors of the pine material shine through. Again, I think pine is a very underrated material, and again, this is finished in just a very simple, rustic finishing way for you guys to get some ideas out there in the big wide world. But of course, you can go above and beyond with finishing a project like this. You could go in and spray paint or paint with acrylic craft paints all of the individual parts to give it a nice tropical flair for the summertime and everything. If you want to hang hang it in a beach house, a beach cottage, or a place by the lake, or if you know someone that collects lighthouse stuff. I know some people collect like lighthouse figurines, you know, the ceramic ones or the statues and the miniatures and everything. I think it would make a great gift for them. But you can go above and beyond with making and finishing a project like this. And if you wanted to go the intarsia route, keep in mind this is the segmented route where you use one individual species of material, cut everything out and glue it back together. Intarsia, on the other hand, for scroll saw woodworking, takes it to a whole nother level of beauty entirely. And that is where you take different pieces of exotic and hardwoods and use those natural grains, textures, and colors of those materials to use as the color base for the project you are working with. You could, of course, print out the pattern several different ways, several different times, and then attach them to exotic or hardwoods and go the intarsia route if you wanted to do so. So options and versatility for each and every project you come across. Now, when you go to glue the project up, if you wanted to add some depth and dimension to the project, you could, of course, glue some riser blocks in the back of some of these pieces to elevate them, or you could take the pieces over to a belt sander or something and sand them away more to recess them down farther to give it even more of a three-dimensional look, if that makes any sense. Hopefully I'm explaining that properly. But I'm really happy with how this project finished up. Of course, I am living in the great state of North Carolina as the time of this video is recording, and we have lighthouses peppered all along the Carolina coast. They are the guiding lights, the guiding beacons, and of course some people use lighthouses and their guiding light as a spiritual interpretation. So please keep that in mind as well when you go about making a project like this and giving it as a gift. You know, it could be that guiding light to make you, you know, walk the correct path in life, if that makes any sense. But really cool, really happy with how this project finished up, and I'm really happy with how the pine came out in today's video. Again, I made the project bigger than Steve Good originally intended, and I would one day like to take the pilgrimage and go and see the beautiful architectural wonders that are the lighthouses along the Carolina coast. At the time of this video's recording, I have not went and seen any of the lighthouses, but it is on my to-do list, and maybe if I ever get to go, and hopefully I get to go and see them, I would maybe want to bring you guys along for the ride in future Wednesday videos, because they are architectural marvels and wonders. I know the most iconic one along the North Carolina coast is the classic Cape Hatteras lighthouse. It has the spiral design going up and down it, the black and white spiral. But really, really cool. They have a lot of maritime history, and this is just another scroll saw woodworking project that we can add to the tropical and maritime and seafaring projects that we have made in previous videos over here on the platform. But really happy with how it came out, and hopefully along from start to finish you guys picked up a tip, trick, or tidbit along the way, and hopefully you learned something to where it'll give you guys the boost of confidence to go out in your garage or workshops to make a segmented project over on your scroll saw. And if you guys decide to make this project that we have made in today's video, and you finish it in a different way than I have finished it in today's video for video purposes, please post it on social media and tag me. I love seeing people's different interpretation of the same exact scroll saw woodworking pattern, just however you visualize it in your mind's eye. But really, really cool. One more look at it here as we close the video. Once again, I felt it was an appropriate project to make now that we are in the heart of summer 2025, and I hope all of you guys out there are having a great summer 2025 wherever you are in the big wide world. But that's going to be about all for this one. If you're new to the channel, hopefully you'll click that subscribe button and also follow me across all my social media feeds under the Artisan Pirate name. As always, links to contact me as well as all my social media feeds will always be linked down in the description box below these videos. That's about all for this one, and remember guys, if I can make it or do it, so can you guys. I'm the Artisan Pirate. Take care, and I'll see you guys real soon.